Okay, so I'm going off script. This is now the beginning of the talk. Whole new talk. Maybe a quick show of hands. This is going to be probably the entire room. Who in this room plays video games? Cool. Pretty much what I thought. So, who in this room has a game that you're really excited about coming out this year? Awesome. Again, basically everybody. So for me, that game that I was unbelievably excited about coming out this year was Slay the Spire 2. And I am so happy that it's out, but it feels like my own personal nightmare that it came out like right at GDC, because I've been trying to like focus on making all of this stuff good that I have not been able to play it yet. So as soon, like the second that this talk is over and I leave the room, I've got it on my laptop and I am opening it and I am playing it the rest of the day. So now I can tell you who I am, but I think you already know everything important. My name is Tom. I'm one of Discord's VPs of engineering. I'm a Discord user, and obviously I'm a gamer. And gaming has been incredibly important to me my entire life. Two of my all-time favorite games being Super Smash Bros. Melee, Foxmain, not actually that good, but I love the game anyway, and then of course Slay the Spire. So that conversation that we just had is actually something that happens all the time on Discord. There's a group of friends basically at all times that is talking about what is that awesome new game that is coming out? What game do we want to pick up and play tonight as a group? And someone might be throwing out a name. You know, maybe it's Marathon, right? Maybe it is Slay the Spire 2. Heck yes. Somebody else might say like, I know, I'm not really into that right now. Maybe they're posting a clip to another game from a stream that they saw, and within, maybe 90 seconds, the group might have moved on if they didn't lock in and pick that game. And that moment, the moment when friends are figuring out, what are we going to play tonight? That might be the most important moment of your game's life cycle. And almost nobody is designing specifically for that. We talk constantly in the industry about what are our retention curves, about what's our player acquisition strategy, about what's our live ops strategy and our content calendar. And those are incredibly important things that matter and make sense for the success of your game. But today, I want to talk about something that happens before all of that in the lives of your players, which isn't necessarily your trailer, isn't your patch notes, isn't your live ops strategy. It's that conversation between friends who are determining whether or not they're going to pick up and play your game. And that conversation is almost certainly happening on Discord. So another thing I don't need to tell this group is that making a successful game is really hard. And the number of games released every year keeps going up and up and up. And at the same time, we know from Steam data that the average number of games a Steam user plays in a year went from 13 in 2021 to 10 in 2024. So there's an increasing number of games that are coming out with a decreasing number of titles that are actually being played. So that means that the bar is even higher than it used to be, and it's continuously going up. So you're not just competing for attention of making a great game, you're competing for a diminishing portion of playtime in an already extremely difficult area. But here's something that's really interesting. On Discord, that trend is going the other way. We saw in the same time period that Discord users went from playing 8 titles on Steam over a year to 11. So that's more games that are being played, not fewer. And the difference is your friends. So a new mechanic or a content drop can bring players back to your game, but friends saying, get on, the lobbies are hot, like you have to play with us, that's what gets them into the game and keeps them there. So someone might be hyping up that new release or sharing that clip or having that conversation that pulls their friends into the game. And that's where the next game finds you as a player. Friends are what cause a game to get into your rotation and keep it there. So the question isn't just, how do I get players to try my game? It's, how do I make it easy enough for a group of friends to say yes right now to playing together? Because that's what actually keeps them. And the thing about that decision, again, that conversation is happening on Discord. So on Discord, there's over 90 million people that are using it every single day, myself included, literally every single day. And they're not just popping in to check on their notifications and popping out. This is where people hang out. This is where you talk to your friends. This is where you live a huge part of your gaming life. And this is where you share the awesome memes from the streamer that's streaming your favorite game. This is where you're talking about how excited you are about the new things that are coming out. And all of that is the social energy around your game. And that's the part that actually drives whether players are coming back. And that place already has a home. Your players are already here with us. So the question is, how can you build for it? So most of you in this room, maybe another quick show of hands, how many of you have a Discord server? Basically everyone again. I love this crowd. This is great. So you might have a community manager on your team running that. You might be the community manager on your team running that. And if so, like, shout out to you. And you might be doing things like posting all of your game updates, answering support tickets from people that are having problems. Maybe you're running events in your servers as well. And all of that is incredible stuff that you can do that's going to help the success of your game. But when we're talking about Discord as the social layer of games, we're talking about something that goes beyond your server. We're talking about your players' presence, their friends list, how they discover and launch your game. We're talking about how they can buy and gift items to each other when something amazing happens. And all of this living in the place where they're already spending their time on Discord. So a Discord strategy is more than just having your server. It's building for the full platform of our offerings. And that's what we've been working on. A developer platform that is designed to help bring all of this social energy and channel it to help you be more successful. So our developer platform connects identity, play, discovery, community, and commerce all on Discord where your users already are. And I want to be really clear because it's more than just one piece here. It's more than just, hey, go implement this thing and then you're done. This is a comprehensive strategy where each part is extremely valuable and can help you out. But as you adopt more pieces, they compound on each other and each one gets more effective and more successful. So things like your player's Discord account linked to your game account. Their friends list surface directly inside your game so that the moment that they pick it up, they can see everyone they know who plays as well. Their achievements that they're getting in your game, visible directly on their Discord profile, where they can show off all of the amazing time and energy and what they've accomplished in your game. And your game's items, giftable to their friends, all without needing to leave what they're doing. So this is what it looks like when the social layer and the game aren't two separate things, but they're combined. So you might be saying, like, okay, no, that sounds pretty cool, but me, I like to see numbers. Like, the story is one thing, but like, what actually happens? Does it really work? So a year ago here, I think literally in this exact room, I was actually sitting there. We announced the release of the social layer of Discord, starting with the Discord Social SDK. And we've seen a number of partners release with us since late 2024, and honestly, the results have been pretty great. So we're seeing things like Link players are opening the games a median of 25% more days, and when they do, their session length is increasing by 16%. We're also seeing a median 28-day retention increase of 34%. And those are some pretty great numbers. And one of the things that happens when I talk to developers about here are the results that you can see if you integrate this and you launch this is it almost sounds a little bit too good to be true. Like 34% increase in retention just from integrating this. But this data comes from across over 15 different games that have integrated with us since late 2024. And they're consistently seeing the same results across different games, different genres, different scales, and we're seeing them independently verify this with their own data as well. So just to say that again, every single game that was integrated that we've been able to measure has seen an increase in their daily active users. This includes games like Marvel Rivals, Rust, PAX Day, Delta Force, Arc Raiders, Predecessor, tons of different games, different genres, different scales at which they operate, but the same pattern holds. And really, we had a hypothesis that if we could make it easier for you to play together with your friends, you would play those games more. That is what the social SDK and the social layer on Discord allows you to do, and that is exactly what we are seeing happening. So all of these results ultimately come back to one thing that is the foundation of this platform, which is account linking. So account linking gives players the ability to link their Discord account to your game. That's the major unlock where everything begins. So again, think about like what happens when you do this. A player links their account, they open up your game, now they can see their entire friend list from Discord and see who's online, see who's playing the game. They can send invites out. It lowers the friction to playing together. So that conversation that we talked about at the beginning of this talk, figuring out who's available, who wants to play what, that becomes so much easier because it gets turned into one click in order to get going instead of needing to figure out all of the different details. So what else does it do? It allows you to bring aspects of your game onto Discord as well. We've recently launched features with GameStat widgets that you'll hear more about later, where you can bring all of those achievements, all of those amazing things from your game directly to display them on a user's profile. You can also do great things like in the middle of an amazing match, maybe someone pulls off that clutch victory and you want to give them something. Well, now you can. You can see what items that they might want from your game, and you can directly gift that through Discord. And this is not a really big lift to integrate. We've seen partners who have been able to get started in as little as a week, where they can download the SDK, set up account linking, and get it out to their users to start driving this. So if you leave here with one takeaway, it's exactly that. I encourage all of you to go check out the Discord Social SDK, set up your application, set up your scopes, start integrating it, and use that as the foundation to build off of our platform. That's what's going to make Discord work for you in ways beyond what it does today to help your game be even more successful. So with that, I will pass off to Mason from our product team, who's going to talk you through more.
Thank you, Tom. Hi, everybody. My name is Mason, and I'm on the product team here at Discord. I've been here for 9 years helping build and grow our developer ecosystem and helping developers succeed when they work with Discord. I've been playing games since Pajama Sam and Putt Putt Saves the Zoo on the family computer as a kid. Yeah, I see they're great games. They still hold up. Nowadays, I'm big into MMOs and ARPGs, and as my slide says, I play Rogue whenever the chance is given to me. I want to take you a little bit deeper into the features that account linking enables and how they show up in your game when you bring the Discord social layer into it using the Discord Social SDK. We at Discord know that people play more when they play together and play with their friends. And we deeply understand how important it is to invest in those social experiences. We also know that making games is hard, and making great social experiences can be complex. Players can't reach their friends unless they're already logged into the game. Platforms still don't like to talk to each other, and in-game fun fizzles out the moment that you log off. Discord exists as that social layer between all of gaming, and you can take advantage of that to connect your players and help them stay engaged, even when the game's over. As Tom said, this time last year, in this room, we launched the Discord Social SDK, which allows you to bring that Discord social layer directly into your game and tap into those valuable, most engaged players who they and their friends live on Discord. When you integrate the Discord social layer, you're really integrating that Discord advantage. The social SDK lets you seamlessly bridge a player's social graph into your game, so they can connect with their friends faster, use familiar text and voice chat that they know and love, and play together more quickly and without friction. You can give your players a better experience playing with their friends, so they'll play together, play longer, and spread the word about your game on Discord just by playing. As Tom said earlier, the Discord social layer works as a compounding system, not just a checklist of features. It starts with account linking, which is how players link their Discord identity with your game. This activates rich presence, which allows your game to show up on linked player profiles to all of their friends on Discord, broadcasting to your friends what you're doing and what you're playing. And from there, you can implement our game invites, where these profiles become gateways to get into your game and starting points for friends to play together. Tom shared just how much account linking impacts player attention and engagement, and this is how it works. This is how that pays off. If you're interested in the specifics, come to my talk tomorrow. So, shameless self-promotion. We're going to do a deep dive into the mechanics of what makes a great integration with the Discord social layer. We're going to talk about why account linking matters. We're going to get into some data that we've learned with partners that we've launched with, and we're going to talk about some of those design principles and best practices that really make the most of the work that you do and the integration that you give your players. Of course, even as powerful as it already is, we're continuing to invest in the experience of account linking, and we've made significant improvements thanks to the feedback from players and developers. Players can now find link your account prompts throughout Discord, allowing them to connect your game and their Discord identity without even needing to be playing. We've made it easier for large studios with central account systems to integrate Discord across multiple titles, and we've added support for native authentication flows and deep linking on mobile to make it that much easier to connect your account to the games that you love on the go. Along with account linking, we continue to iterate on our core retention-driving features. We've added support for custom artwork on game invites, allowing you to highlight a particular map, mode, or season that a friend is being invited to, making them more enticing to accept. We've made the Discord friends list more actionable inside of games by sorting players that have recently played to the top of that list, making it easy to know who you should reach out to play next. And we've also added some really cool support for cross-device game invites, meaning that if you get a game invite on your phone, you can accept it, and it'll put you in your friends group on your PC or your console. It's pretty darn cool. Beyond the core functionality of account linking, one of the things that we wanted to make sure we got right was the ability for you to integrate Discord Power communications features. Being able to communicate effectively, instantly, and with high-quality audio, regardless of platform, is critical for the success of multiplayer experiences. That's why, with the Social SDK, you can support in-game text and voice chat systems using Discord-powered infrastructure. Last year, we brought these communications features out of closed beta. But we didn't just make them more accessible. We continued to refine them. We've recently added support for things like chat history for text chat, meaning that when players get back into the game, they can catch up on the conversation that they might have missed and get up to speed. And we've also made it easier for the audio designers among you to leverage your preferred tools for enhanced customization and post-processing effects to enable you to offer players richer, more immersive experiences. We think that the voice chat's pretty great out of the box, though. We've also worked hard to ensure that users can communicate responsibly. In gaming, we all know this lesson well. With in-game communication comes a need for moderation. You gotta play nice. We don't just want to enable a better player experience with clear communication. We want to make sure that you have the tools that you need to keep that player experience positive. That's why we've recently enabled server-side moderation workflows, so that you can integrate with your favorite third-party moderation providers to moderate Discord Checks Chat powered by the SDK in your games and protect that positive player experience. So what's next? Those are some of the ways that we've been building up the SDK over the past year or so. What else are we doing? What else are we bringing to you as developers and your players to make sure that the SDK works even harder for your games? We've talked a lot about the social experience and enhancing the way that players play games together. But we also know that on mobile, playing together can look a little bit different. The social SDK already supports both iOS and Android platforms, but small screens are always a big area of investment for us. We've planned improvements to core features like rich presence and game invites to make sure that a social SDK integration is just as powerful when it's in your pocket. One such example is account linking. Our partners at Tencent have already included account linking in a couple of their games. And so when we added support for deep linking to that account linking, it means that people don't have to log in on those rough mobile web views anymore, and making that experience even more frictionless. How about a sneak peek of some really new features? We know that players on Discord love to show off to their friends. Flexing on your friends is a pretty core component of a lot of the stuff that we do. We also know that Discord profiles receive a massive amount of traffic, seen by 133 million users every month. So we've built this brand new game stats widget that appears on player profiles, and we're offering a sneak peek here at GDC. Through account linking, players can add this game stats widget to their Discord profile. And once linked, they can do things like customizing their profiles further by selecting their favorite characters to highlight, or sharing recent achievements that they've earned, or stats from their games. The Game Stats widget is currently available for Marvel Rivals and Wuthering Waves. We're continuing to refine the product and are excited to bring it to more developers and games later this year. So to recap, investing in social experiences is important to engage and retain players. It's also challenging. At Discord, we want to make it easier by allowing you to leverage the Discord Social SDK. And we're continuing to make sure that it evolves and works harder for you. We're focusing on meeting players where they're at with dedicated mobile improvements and added benefits to account linking, like those game stats widgets that you saw. You can learn more at discord.com/social SDK and see the other ways that we're investing in the Discord Social SDK as part of our overall developer platform, helping drive value for developers and player communities. And speaking of communities, my colleague Mark here is going to tell you all about what's new with Discord's official game communities.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name's Mark Mandel. I'm a staff developer advocate here at Discord. Since we're doing this, my first memories of video games involve editing config.sys for EMM386 settings for some particular games. I'm seeing some nods. Okay, there's some history here. Cool, that's fine. So, what do I want to talk to you about today? I want to talk to you about game communities. Tom sort of asked this question already, but I'll ask it a little bit more specifically. Who here runs a Discord server for their game? Lots of you. Okay, quite a few of you. Excellent. Wonderful. So, I'm sure many of you are aware, Discord is a leading platform for hosting game communities. We have well over 10,000 game communities on Discord, and we see substantial growth in this area. We see that in our COGR metrics. That's compound annual growth rates. If people don't use those terms, that's fine. Some of our top game communities have millions of users in them. We even see games driving development from the community from the very beginning of their game development lifecycle, turning their players into champions for their game, as well as capturing their feedback all the way through. And we often tell people as a best practice to build your Discord server at the same time you start developing your game to really capture their value, again, all the way through that game development process. But what I want to particularly talk to you about today is about how your game shows up inside Discord. We can show activity on detected game. I'm sure many of you have seen this. And as we're talking about with Social SDK, we can control rich presence and show activity on people's profiles, which is great. But ultimately, wouldn't you like a bit more control? What if we, at Discord, had a process such that we knew that you, the game studio, were the owners of said game? Then it would be much easier for us to give you that control. Strangely enough, we have such a thing. It's called Claim Your Game, and it is that process where we can basically be like, yeah, we know that you own this game, and therefore we can hand you the reins a bit more and allow you to do some fun things and give you some extra benefits. Now, the wonderful thing here is it's 3 easy steps to claim your game, 2 of which I expect you've already done. First of all, make a game. Who here has made a game? Lots of you. You're at GDC. Fantastic. Now, I will say for right now, with the game claim process, you will need a Steam page, and it will need to be a playable game that has been detected by Discord, but we're looking to enhance that in the future. Secondly, you need a Discord server. Oh, I've gone too far. Nope, I've lost a slide. That's fine. Secondly, you need a Discord server. As I saw from before, many of you have Discord servers for your game. Fantastic. That is your game. That is your community, and I'm sure it is a delightful place for all your players to be. Thirdly, and this is the new one, we have our new game claim process. So you go into the Discord developer portal. You may need to create a team or an application. You'll go down where it says game identity, and you will click claim your game, and you'll get a nice little drop-down where you can search for your game, and we can see all the games that we have identified. Once you've clicked that, this will take you over to our game claim verification form, which is a fun sentence to say. And you can see on the right-hand side, your Steam details are already populated, and you can also see that that's where we find where your Discord servers are. So if you have a Steam page, before you start this process, make sure your Discord server is listed on your Steam page so we know where it is. So fill that out, click submit, wait for a little bit, we'll confirm some stuff on our end, and assuming everything goes according to plan, you'll get a nice game claim approved pop-up like this one. Okay, so you went through the steps. What do you actually get out of this? So first of all, you'll get something that may look a little familiar to many of you, server verification. So we've had server verification for a while. We haven't really had a defined process for a little bit, but now we very much do. This is the defined process for getting your server verified. What does that mean? You get that nice green verified badge. So it means that your players are like, oh, this is the server that belongs to the game studio that makes the game. This is the official server. So it reduces and removes all confusion about where your players should go. You also get a couple of other really nice things. You get invite backgrounds on your invites, so you can put your branding on your invites when you're sending your invites for servers. And you get a custom URL, because it's much nicer to have the name of your game in your URL on marketing materials than F173421. Okay, that's super handy. But as I said before, we want to focus on how your game shows up inside Discord. So I'm also sure many of you are already familiar. We show information across Discord about what games people play. We show activity in a variety of places, from against member lists, on people's profiles, what they've played recently. We allow people to put their favorite games on game collections on their profiles, and a bunch more. And what's nice here for game developers especially, when people click on, say, for example, this larger image, or maybe this smaller one, and a few other places, what this takes them to is this game profile page. Now, traditionally, we've populated that from sources like IGDB to show information about your game, such as title, description, the genre, platform. We gather images about your game as well, such as the cover, background art, screenshots. Screenshots are great. All the social links you have, and more. But we've never really given you control over that. It's kind of a thing that we do. Amazingly enough, when you claim your game, we now have an admin panel within the Discord developers portal such that you can turn your game profile into exactly how you want it to show up inside Discord. This is particularly relevant for those of you who have like seasonal content drops, DLC, any kind of new content, and you want to advertise how that change is happening inside your game within Discord by changing the game's visual identity inside Discord. Some of you may actually have noticed that some of your favorite games may be kind of doing this already. Now, it is worth noting, we haven't changed the UI yet on game profiles, but we have given you the ability to edit when you have claimed your game. Okay, so this is all super useful and stuff you can use right now. But before you go, I want to also give you a sneak peek on some of the cool stuff that we've also got coming down the pipe. So I'll give you a warning as well. These are the problems we're looking at, and these are some solutions we're looking at. They may not look exactly like this when we're done, but you have been warned. So I want to talk a little bit about rich announcements. So we know as game developers, you want to do long-form content about your game, such as announcements and patch notes and more. But if you're all pretty familiar, Discord has a 2,000 character word limit, which means that you're either doing previews or summaries and having to worry about things like click-through rates, and it's really annoying. So we're exploring rich announcements with probably some extra formatting tools as well, so that you can put your entire long-form blog-style content in Discord, so it is a much less frictional experience for your players to be able to see the entirety of your content and consume it. In that same vein, Discord servers can get noisy. That is a thing that happens, especially when they're popular, and it can be hard for your developer posts to stand out. We've had announcement channels for quite a while, but even they can get noisy too. So we're looking at building out a new developer role that has special highlight abilities so that when your developers do patch notes or play tests or any other kind of developer announcement, they really stand out. Now, Tom and Mason have talked a lot about account linking, and it's super powerful. And so we're looking at also extending and enhancing how that can provide value to our game communities as well. We're looking at a thing named TBD, right, called game linked roles, where we can extend our linked role system within Discord such that game developers for their game can send us data about their players and dynamically assign roles within Discord. This means it's much easier to highlight your top players inside the game, so your diamond rank player can have a diamond rank role. This can be fun because it might create some friendly rivalries between people who haven't yet ranked up to that level. And finally, and this is the one that I'm particularly excited about, this is the UI change for game identities and profiles. This includes a lot of really cool new features. I think the big one here, mobile support. A few of us use our phones, me definitely too much. Having the ability for your game to show up and its profile show up on mobile is huge. Secondly, and I love this even more, video support. Screenshots are great, but I want to see trailers, I want to see in-game action, and videos are perfect for that. We're also looking at Steam reviews, community announcements, and developer posts, so people can see all the exciting things happening in your game and all the amazing reviews that I know you're all getting on your games. And we're looking at game store links and more. So, to wrap up, don't miss out on all these benefits. It only takes 3 easy steps to claim your game, and as I said, you've probably already done 2 of them. So, claim your game, verify your server, customize your game identity and profile, and make your game show up in Discord the way you want it to. Awesome. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to hand off to Emery to talk about Quest. Did you plug your talk? Oh, no, I didn't. I apologize. Oh, you're right. I got excited. I got way too excited there. Before I go, yes, this is not my talk. That was very silly. I was like, I'm done. If you want to better understand how to grow your community and how to drive player engagement based on data inside Discord, come to our talk at our booth tomorrow in the expo hall. That's not my talk, but that's one of our fellow colleagues. Also, discord.com/community is all the details more online that you can check out. Now I will hand off to you.
Justice. Thanks, Mark. Leave it to the person talking about ads to give an advertisement for next talk. Anyways, hey everyone, my name's Emery. I'm a product manager here at Discord. How many of you guys are playing Slay the Spire 2 right now? Couple of hands there. Well, you guys are in luck because I'm here today to talk about my favorite Ascension 10 strategies. I'm actually just kidding. This is a whole ad for Slay the Spire 2. But I'm also going to talk about ads at Discord. So I'm going to talk about quests. For over a decade, I've had the chance to work on a lot of games, from indie games like Among Us, all the way to AAAs like The Sims and Call of Duty. And all that experience has really taught me that no matter how great your game is or how awesome the gameplay is, it's hard to succeed without players. And quests are one of the best ways to grow your game's player base. So last year, I was here on the GDC stage introducing everybody to quests, which are Discord's advertising product. Well, it's been a year, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the results. Spoilers, the results were really good. Quests have continued to help our gaming partners connect with Discord's unique audience of gamers in some really interesting ways I'm excited to share with you today. Last year, we had the hype, but this year, with over 400 Quest campaigns run, we have the proof. For those of you who aren't familiar with quests, I'll do a quick overview of what they are. Quests are ads that don't play like ads. They're designed for players. At Discord, we all play games, and we built this ad format with players in mind. Players don't just scroll past or skip, they actively engage because they're rewarded for doing so. And it's advertising that's reimagined for gamers, making it fun, exciting, and impactful. Quests have rewards that players love. Our rewarded format drives really high engagement and naturally fits into how users play games. Players have to take an action, like playing a game, streaming a game, or even watching a video, to earn those rewards. And lastly, quests drive discovery through friends. Quests are unique in that they're a social format. When a user participates in a quest, their friends can see that they're playing and they can join in, and that reward provides additional motivation. There's nothing more powerful than seeing a friend play to drive that game discovery. So, what kind of quest formats do we offer? Well, we've got two main kinds. First, our video quests. These are premium video ads that reward players for watching the video to completion. They're designed to create some excitement and drive discovery, and are ideal for things like game launch trailers, new DLC, and more. You can think of these as more upper funnel ads. Last year, we also expanded this quest format to mobile, enabling game developers to reach their players even on the smallest devices. And secondly, our original quest offering, Play Quests. Play Quests invite players to jump straight into your game to earn rewards. Users need to play or stream a game for a certain amount of time, usually around 15 minutes, in order to unlock those rewards. We support both PC and console, and Play Quests are meant for lower funnel player engagement to get players deeper into your game. Developers have seen great success using both video and Play Quests in tandem, helping attract new players with video quests while engaging them more deeply with Play Quests. All right, so we've introduced several exciting new features over this past year to make quests even better. First up are orbs. These are Discord's native virtual reward system. Users can earn orbs with quests, and then use those orbs to claim things like our premium Nitro subscription, avatar cosmetics, and more. And we've seen some really amazing numbers with orbs. Quests with orb rewards have a 200% higher engagement rate compared to quests without. Next, we talked about bringing to proof. It's one thing for proof to come from us, but it's another for that proof to come from industry-standard third-party measurement partners. In 2025, we integrated some of the top measurement partners so that advertisers can know that their money is being spent effectively. And we're continuing to integrate more measurement partners throughout the year for not only gaming, but other verticals as well. When you spend your ads budget at Discord, we want to make sure that you know exactly what results you're getting. And lastly, we spent a lot of time last year innovating on our quest formats. You'll see what that looks like in a little bit. All right, so with all that work last year, what were the results? Well, quests are still ads that gamers actually love. We ran a survey asking our users to compare Discord ads to traditional advertising on other platforms, and there was 3 times more positive sentiment towards quests. And most critically, we saw quest users play an average of 74 minutes per play quest. This is way, way above the 15 minutes required to complete that quest, meaning that users are willingly spending more time than is necessary in each one of those games that ran a quest. And on the quest team, we have what we call a win-win-win philosophy. So not only should the advertiser reach the right user and feel like they're winning, but a user should also feel like they win when they engage with quests and get a reward. So who's that third win for? Well, that's for us here at Discord. We win when the right users find the right games to play. And don't just take our word for it. Our users have been loving quests. Reddit is famously negative on kind of just about everything, but we've seen some really positive reaction to our new rewards and evolutions to our quest formats. This also shows off some of the social aspects of quests. Users talk about them positively online, and in turn, more users check them out on Discord. And personally, as a product person who's worked in games but also in ads for a few years, you have no idea how gratifying it is when you read a user comment that says quests are what ads are supposed to be. So on that note, let's take a look at some of our wins with game developers and quests last year. For those of you who aren't familiar with Second Dinner's Marvel Snap, it's a fast-paced mobile card battler featuring some pretty familiar superheroes, and Marvel Snap has been around for some time. So with quests, they saw an opportunity to proactively drive engagement with both new and lapsed users. The quests became so popular that Discord users were actively hunting them down, asking friends how to access the videos and unlock the rewards, with 99% of users watching the whole video. Add in Discord's new mobile genre targeting and measurement integration with AskFlyer, and these quests drove a 30% improvement in cost per install. On the PC and console side, we have NetEase's new MMORPG, Where Winds Meet. They set out to drive immediate hands-on gameplay for the global launch of their new PC open-world RPG entering in a pretty crowded release window. Discord launched a play quest that rewarded players for playing the game for 15 minutes. And by targeting high-intent PC RPG audiences and requiring a simple time-based gameplay objective, the quest ensured meaningful engagement rather than just passive exposure. This resulted in some of the lowest cost per installs that NetEase had ever seen, and they came back to us to spend 11 times as much ad budget as they originally anticipated due to the strength of that campaign performance. Now, I could keep talking about more of our success stories, but we've run over 400 campaigns, so that's way too many of them. So now, I want to talk a little bit more about our exciting innovations to quest format, instant play quests. Instant play quests leverage our platform to create an instant cloud streaming game experience. This means that players can literally click a button and be playing your game on Discord via the cloud in seconds. No 100 gigabyte downloads, no installation required. This is incredibly exciting because it allows prospective players a chance to experience your game in the truest fashion possible by playing the real thing. When I was a kid, I remember getting game demo discs in magazines like Nintendo Power, or getting those trial discs from places like Burger King when you bought a Happy Meal, or I don't sell Happy Meals anymore. Whopper Meals? I don't know what Burger King sells. I was a child. You got free stuff from Burger King. Instant play quests are exactly like that, but they've got probably less heartburn, they're probably healthy for you, and they've got more impact. Early testing shows incredible performance here. We see double the user engagement overall, but also critically 5 times higher quest completion rates amongst both new and lapsed users. So not only are these quests driving more engagement, but they're driving that engagement among exactly those hard-to-reach users that your game needs to win over with instant, zero-friction gameplay. And we're really interested in testing more of these, so if you've got a game that can run in a headless client on a service like NVIDIA GeForce Now or Amazon GameLift, we'd love to chat. All right, lastly, I want to talk about another quest innovation that we're really excited about, in-game play quests. Name here is TBD, but they're kind of exactly what they sound like. So we're building functionality for developers to interface with our quest platform and directly send us in-game event data to complete quests. This means instead of just having quests where the player has to play the game for 15 minutes to get a reward, now you can reward players for specific in-game actions. So, for example, you could tie a reward to completing a game's tutorial level, ensuring that players make it through the onboarding process. Or you could reward social engagement by rewarding players for squatting up with at least one other friend in a multiplayer game like Apex Legends. The possibilities with this are endless, and we see a future where developers can utilize Discord's orbs and other quest rewards to get players to really engage with their creations. Instead of having to worry about balancing your in-game economy and achievement systems to drive player retention, now you can leave that to Discord. And I know I said this last year, but this is really just the beginning, and we are excited to continue building an ad solution that helps developers of all shapes and sizes get their games discovered and played. Our goal here is simple. We want to help every developer reach all their players anywhere they play. If you want to learn more about quests, my colleague Mina is also hosting a more in-depth talk about quests during GDC. If you're interested in that, check it out tomorrow, March 12th at 2:50 p.m. in the West Hall. And if you want to stay in the loop of what's coming up with quests, go to our website, discord.com/quests, and hit that Get in Touch button. And with that, I'd like to hand the stage over to Soda to talk about something that's really exciting, social commerce on Discord.
Hi, everybody. My name's Soda. I'm a design director at Discord. Like Tom, I am very excited about Slay the Spire. Unlike Tom, I brought my Steam Deck on stage with me. So getting into it, I mentioned social commerce on Discord. Oh, that's me, Slay the Spire. The long short of this is that players can now find, buy, and gift in-game items to each other directly on Discord, and the next time they open their game, it's there instantly. So before I get into how it works, I want to start by talking about why we built it in the first place. Industry sales hit a record high this year, and that's really great. But what's interesting about the market is that majority of that growth has gone towards platform services. And that's because platform services have the benefit of being able to offer players choice. So developers are currently figuring out how to make up the margins elsewhere. Some are raising in-game item prices, others are leaning harder into in-game advertising, and these are all rational solutions to a real market shift. But players also feel the impact of this. And players feel the impact on top of friction that has long been there. As both a player myself and a UX designer, one thing I keep coming back to is there's so much friction that exists that we just accept as the cost of play. So I'll give you an example of this. A coworker of mine, who is in the audience right now, came to me last year to talk about gift ideas for his girlfriend for her birthday. I also consult on skincare from time to time at the office. It's yet to make its way into a GDC presentation. But, actually I just made it. But after talking it through, it was really evident that he already knew the perfect gift for her. The thing that she wanted was a Valorant skin. He just didn't have an easy way to get it to her. So I started thinking through the steps. What would it take him to get her this skin? What would it take anybody to get somebody a skin, especially if they don't play the game themselves? First, they'd have to know what they wanted. Thankfully, he did. They already talked about it. Then you have to be at your device, logged in, account created. You can't do this on the go. I think in steps, it's UX. If he doesn't play, then he needs to install it. If it's not free to play, you have to buy the game. That's already upwards of $60 of friction, maybe to make a $10, $15 purchase. Then you have to create your account. If you've even made it this far, add the friend, kind of ruins the surprise. Then you add your payment method. Hope gifting is even supported in the first place. You probably get the point by now, but just in case you don't, would anybody in this room just like to hazard a guess at how many screens somebody has to navigate through just to get to this point? Just throw out a number. 12. Higher. Higher. 50. One of my poor designers on my team, I was like, out of curiosity, just go through this process. There are 50 screens between somebody who wants to give you their business and their actual ability to give you their business. And this is what I mean when I talk about the cost of play. It is friction that feels invisible because there hasn't been another way until you remove it. So the question is, how do we, as Discord, reduce the steps between somebody who has the intent to buy and their actual ability to buy? What if instead of 50 steps, it was 3 steps? Your inventory was embedded where over 90 million daily active users spend more than 2 hours a day on the platform. And specifically, it's embedded in places like small friend servers and voice, where over 80% of communication happens during that period. So imagine a new skin drops. A friend forwards it in chat immediately. You can buy it right then, right there, or in voice while you're watching somebody stream their game. You can see what kit they're using. And again, make a really quick, easy purchase. This is because social commerce isn't just a web shop. It is commerce that follows the conversation and what's happening right then, right now on Discord, where your players are hanging out. But it's not just the scale or the depth of time. Sorry, these speaker notes are way too big. I'm just going to stop using them. It's not just the scale or the depth of time. The Discord community is generous. This really surprised me when I first joined Discord and learned that 20% of our first-party shop gifts are gifted. That number is really high. What if a player could wishlist an item from anywhere that they saw it, whether that's on Discord or even in your game, and those items then show up on their Discord profile? We mentioned earlier, those get 103 million user views per month. What if you could share that wish list off platform to friends and family who don't even use Discord at all, and they could purchase a gift for you with a simple click through a text? What if the perfect gift could come to them even when they weren't looking? And I'm not talking holidays or birthdays. One of the magical things about gaming is all of the moments that happen that are game specific, and those moments happen every day on Discord. A player ranks up, somebody starts playing for the first time, somebody carried the team, or somebody's just really bad at the game and you want to send them a get better soon gift. These moments are unique to Discord, or unique to gaming, but they happen daily on Discord. And what if players and their friends didn't need to be at their keyboard or their console at all? Players come to Discord already to talk about what's happening next, what new drops are coming up. So imagine a friend sends a message, and the moment one of your new skins drops, or opt in a wish list notification, let your player know the minute something goes on sale. And this is where I get really excited. Today, the ability to bring back lapsed players is extremely limited because in-game commerce happens inside the game. But the same isn't true for Discord. What if our ads model could get you back in front of lapsed players with welcome back bundles designed to give them a real reason to return to your game? And because our job is to eliminate friction, not just to close a sale, what if that lapsed player started playing immediately, because with every single purchase or success modal, we're driving them from Discord to start immediately using that item inside your game? What if I stopped saying what if? We get it now. Marvel Rivals launched social commerce on December 2nd. They had already implemented our social SDK and account linking, so they were a really natural first partner for us to build with. The experience was deliberately simple to start. It was USD only, desktop only, limited inventory, and our core goal was to test the hypothesis: if we reduce purchase friction with players and friends, will it unlock new revenue for Marvel Rivals? And the answer is yes. Marvel Rivals is already earning new incremental revenue from non-players and lapsed players, people who don't or have never even played their game at all. 41% of month one purchases were gifts. This is more than twice as high as that number I just told you surprised me when I joined Discord. 25% of gifters and 15% of all buyers are non or lapsed players. And this is just social commerce in its most basic form. So here's how it worked. Step one, player can buy it for themselves. Marvel Rivals launched a storefront in their official server. When a new SKU dropped, we promoted it both in chat with easy embeds that the community admin could drop in. Friends can also forward embeds to each other, and we also featured a pop-out every Friday when their new skins dropped. Or you can buy it for someone else. No game installation, no codes required, no logins required. Wishlisted items were featured across profiles and gifting flows like the DM, which is really popular for Nitro today, in small servers, and also in voice when somebody started playing Marvel Rivals. And then after a player purchased or received a gift, they linked their Rivals and Discord account one time if it wasn't already linked. And this also enables those benefits that Tom mentioned at the top. Linked players see 25% more game days and a 34% increase in median day 28 retention. And again, that starts right away with the ability to launch Marvel Rivals from the success screen. And the next time that they open their game, the item is already there waiting for them. Buy it, gift it, link your account, open your game. It just works. And Rivals actually built a really beautiful in-game animation for this, so even the moment of receiving your gift feels delightful. And here's the response. Players are already feeling it. These are real comments from Discord players about the Rivals shop. They're asking already how to give battle passes. They're excited about new drops. They're asking for local currency support and orbs perks. And this is organic, and this is what happens when you put your inventory in front of a community that is ready for it. So the question now is not will this work? It's what do we do next? So here's what's available now on desktop. Regional pricing, so players can see things in local currency. Wish lists and gifting, so you can send exactly what they want. Server shops, so your inventory can live where your most engaged community of players already comes to engage with your game. And across chat and voice recommendations, so you can send the right item at the right moment, whether it's in DM, voice, a small friend server, anywhere across the platform. And here's what's coming. We have mobile availability, because players shouldn't have to be at their keyboard or their console to buy. Promotions and rewarded quests, so players can engage with new drops in a way that's earned and not pushed. Nitro exclusives and perks, so you can give players sustained reasons to purchase. And group buying and gifting 2.0, that's going to help marry the social mechanics that are unique to Discord with the gifting moments I mentioned that are unique to gaming. And the upfront investment to start earning long-term incremental revenue is not high. First, you set up account linking. Then you're going to add your catalog and manage your SKUs through our commerce API. You'll set up the ability to grant in-game items through our entitlements API. And we'll play test together as we go. And then you're ready to launch. We also want to leave room to build solutions that work for the unique mechanics of every single game. So we're going to be taking on a limited number of partners to co-build this with in 2026. So I'll leave you with this. If you are in this room right now, you are part of the most technically sophisticated entertainment market in the world. The reason there were so many steps before was not because this is complicated. It's because it requires two things. First, it requires the ability to be able to reach players and reach their community outside of your game. And second, it requires games and platforms to work together to create shared outcomes for players and for their respective businesses. So we have the community, and we are really excited to bring on new partners in 2026. So if you're interested in being one of them, you can go to discord.com/social commerce and get in touch with our team. And with that, I will hop off of my box because I'm the shortest one up here and give it back to Tom. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Soda, and amazing, beautiful slides. We get to go back now to engineering slides. So, yeah, I was not joking. So obviously, we're here talking to you, the game developers, but we know that the players have to love the experiences that they're going through to make the biggest difference. So we've been really intentional about every single thing that we're building to think about the player experience first, which you heard reflected across all the different sections in the talk today. But just to bring that back together and kind of talk about some of those things that you might have missed in the sea of awesome that you heard about, let's talk about that entire journey for the users. So we're able to help players have better game discovery. Instant play quests allow users to do just that. Instantly play your game from within Discord. No download required, no friction, no setup, just instantly getting that gratifying reward of seeing your game in their hands, in their controller. And it's also easier to see through the Discord Social SDK what games have the ultimate endorsement, which is what games are your friends already playing. Your game experience itself improves. So with things like Discord-powered voice and text chat that players already use, already love, already trust, directly integrated in your game seamlessly. Whether they link their accounts or not, they all get the benefits. And account linking surfaces their friends directly in the game so they can see who already plays, make it easy to send them an invite, hop into the same lobby, and just start playing. Connecting your account means that Discord and your game stay in sync throughout. So features like linked channels allow your players to connect their own Discord servers directly to in-game guild chat so that they never miss anything. And that game presence that we talked about shows up on your profile to make it easy for people to hop in with you as well. So all of these pieces allow players to more deeply experience every aspect and immerse themselves in your games. They can also show off all of the amazing, awesome stuff that they've put effort into to achieve in your game that they love directly on their profiles for everybody else to see, celebrating moments, adding things to their wish list, getting better soon. All of it comes together. And then last but not least, by connecting in your communities, they can learn more about the games that they already play, redeem those in-game rewards for things that might show up in your shop or on your platform. And we know that the more integrated players are, the more they play, the longer they play, and the more they stick with the games. So for the developers, what does that look like? Well, this platform is a growth engine fueling your game. You can acquire new users with quests that put your game in front of Discord's massive high-intent audience at the exact moment that they're ready to try something new. And quests are more effective at getting users to play because, as we heard about, for those in-game milestones, it's not just about clicking on an ad or installing something. You can make sure that they're actually getting to the right point in your game to experience something awesome that's going to cause them to stick. You can drive more engagement to your game through the social integration. So every linked player that you have now acts as an organic amplifier for your game. So every time that they're booting it up and jumping in, they're broadcasting that to their entire Discord audience that says, come and play with me. You can also keep players connected between your sessions by sharing those updates, making it easier to see what's coming from the development team, having those content drops in your shop. This is how you can engage your community in ways that you couldn't before. And players who are connected play more and retain better. And last but not least, as Soda just talked about, commerce on Discord doesn't only serve your existing players that already play your game. This unlocks an entirely new audience of people that can spend money on your games. The typical Discord user is very deeply connected to people that don't only play the same games as them. So the benefit is someone who doesn't play your game can gift an item on somebody's wish list to a person who does. And as Soda mentioned, something that goes from an incredibly painful experience to something that actually creates delight. So that is our talk. Thank you for enjoying it with us. Sorry for all of the memes, but also not sorry. If you want to hear more, we have multiple more talks. So tomorrow there's 3 more sessions that are coming up. The details are here. We also have a booth downstairs that we would love for you to come drop by and talk to us so that you can find out how to integrate all of this in your game. If you'd like to learn more, we have all the various links to the different parts of our platform available. And we look forward to seeing you integrate with us and just making gaming awesome. Thank you.